Hi and welcome back to another video of jPlay. I am Marcus and I believe it's not really difficult to see that today I'm going to start my playthrough of Secrets of the Lost Tomb. Yes, it's a massive box. I have been told there is a version out there with a smaller box, but hey, really, big boxes are absolutely amazing, aren't they? I've also been told that there is another Kickstarter coming up in the next couple of weeks or month. I really haven't checked it out. I know there was a different campaign, I think Secrets of the Lost Station or so. Basically similar gaming systems, different setting. I did not check this one out. And this one was really another request from some of my patrons. And with the Kickstarter upcoming, at least that's what I heard, might be a good idea to do a playthrough of Secrets of the Lost Tomb. I haven't played this game for quite a while, so bear with me. I will most likely do a lot of mistakes. It has a lot of dice rolling in it too. So yeah, you know how good I'm rolling, or how well I'm rolling. So yeah, really curious to see how this one plays out. And yeah, let's see how it does, shall we?
Okay, and here we are. I was really debating with myself for quite some time what scenario to play. Of course, the rules suggest to go with the very first mission, but that's the only mission I've played so far, numerous times, that is, because again, always took me some time getting back at the game, and every time I said, okay, let's start small. It was a new group, so all the time I only played the very first, I think, fighting against this, was it a mummy or a skeleton? Cannot quite remember. So I was really deliberately searching for something else and reading through some of the scenarios. In the end, I ended up with this one here, Onmyodo The Legend of the Masamune Swords. Maybe I will do some reading in a second. I will leave a mark where there you can basically jump over it. So really, if you're not interested in me reading this stuff in my broken English. But again, I will play this game solitaire because this is also something I haven't done before. That's the one reason. The other reason is this game really needs a lot of table space, and I'm not really sure if I will be able to cover a 3 or 4 player game here with the limited amount of table space I have here. So in this case, I'm playing a solo game. Really curious to see how this one goes. I read numerous things about it. After also some debate with myself, I decided to end up with the recommended character here, Harrison Quatermainus the 13th. He's very powerful, so don't get me wrong. So he's really someone you shouldn't really use in a multiplayer game, at least I think. I also read that it's very easy to play with him, at least when you're doing the very first scenario. In this scenario, I think that's a little bit more advanced. And it also says we have to split up. So in this case, I cannot split up. So I really might need a strong character in order to, dodge all the bullets that will come my way. So yeah, that's basically what I decided. So yeah, I will be Harrison the 13th here. I will start with 13 actions, or will have 13 actions. I have 5 of those companions here. One is the Singing Scimitar here, so he's a strong fighter, and the good thing is I didn't really draw that many fighting characters, so overall I think that's a good mixture of things. He also starts with a hell of a lot of equipment, so we have the fedora, we have the leather jacket, we have the fast draw revolver here, we have the bullwhip there. They're all great weapons for combat, because we will combat relatively quickly in this game. In respect to his special abilities, so not only is he starting with 4 courage here, which gives us a +1 on all checks, which is also pretty amazing, and look at the amount of dice that this guy is rolling already. His starting abilities are Bin There, remove a special ability token, so we have exactly 1, and reveal the top 5 room types from the stack and put them back in any order. This will really come in handy when searching for a specific tile later on. Not sure if I really need to look for a specific tile, but maybe if you're really running out of time, then definitely look at this. And his other special ability says, done that. When you receive an attribute bonus, and there seems to be a typo here, discard 1 special ability token, and you may add an additional bonus to any other attribute. That's pretty amazing too. So if we're getting even more powerful, we get a little bit more powerful after all. So overall, that's pretty amazing. I will not go over our companions here. I think I will Send them in once they are needed. Let's hope I'm not forgetting those. And I think that's pretty much the setup for our character here. Let's do some reading. There was once a master swordsmith and teacher named Hideki Masamune. A self-taught man, he developed the methods of folding metal to create the hardest steel in the world. His talent and skill wasn't the whole of the story, though. When he was a boy, he stumbled upon a piece of the three-tailed comet that fell from the heavens. He melted the comet down into metal and dubbed it the heavenly element. Using the rare substance, he created a magical and untraditional daisho, a two-sword set. Together, these swords are called Onmyodo, but separated, they are the yin and the yang. The yin, the angel's blade, is a katana that could heal others and protect the world. The yang, the deathbringer, is a naginata that could smite the enemies of those who stood against its wielder. Masamune had planned to present his great Onmyodo to the Emperor of Japan when his son, a samurai named Muramasa, stole Yang, the Deathbringer. Full of greed and envy, Muramasa's essence was not strong enough to control the power of the young blade, so it overtook him. He became a demon known as Onibo Muramasa, the Dark Soul. Because of the mistake of trusting his son, Masamune took it upon himself to drag down the demon he created, hiring a small group of Ronin to go with him. They dragged him over land and sea and came upon an island with a great tomb where they found Muramasa and began a great battle. But the yin and yang blades were equally powerful, so they could not defeat one another. Only with the help of the Ronin did the angel's blade finally defeat the Deathbringer. And so all was still, as the young blade fused with the stone of the great tomb. After the battle was complete, though, Masamune still felt stripped of his honor. Hoping to fully regain it, he and his Ronin committed seppuku, committing their spirits to guarding the world from the Dark Soul. However, centuries later, a rogue expedition party found and excavated the Deathbringer. A member of the EOP, a descendant of Masamune, found through a vision that a dark force has brought the spirit of Muramasa back to life in the tomb. You and your team must go to the tomb where the history is repeating itself in a magical loop and repair the past by preventing the atrocities that had caused this evil. You must also find Masamune the Deathbringer and return it to the heavens to prevent his from ever happening again. Yeah, there are then really some scenario description. They're relatively short in this one, so they are not too hard to follow. Some of the other scenarios, from what I've read, are a bit more trickier. So these seem to be relatively straightforward. But there's still one more reading to do, and that says, read upon entering the tomb, which we're about to do right now. Your adventuring party enters the tomb, only to find the entrance covered in blood. As you step through the threshold, you trip over something. You shine your light on the floor. It's a body, or what is left of it. You look around and see the entire room is filled with dead bodies. Recently dead bodies. This must be an expedition party. Just then a red light appears in the distance, and it's getting closer. As the red light approaches, everything around you distorts, and you hear a death-soaked voice in your head. None shall stand in my way. I have returned and I will relive my past in order to regain my honor and prove that I'm alone and worthy of the Deathbringer. Prepare to defend yourself. You will be my next challenge. Your vision clears. You seem to no longer be in the tomb, but rather in feudal Japan. The good news is you apparently understand Japanese, but the bad news is there's an angry man with a sword charging at you. And yeah, this is where we are. This is Onibo Muramasa, the Dark Soul. And yeah, he's ready to strike at us. We don't have to fight him right now. We have a hell of a lot of companions, which means we are outnumbering him anyway. So I think that's already a good thing. And he's really not that tough. There are really other boss monsters, but he will continue to come back. That's really kind of a problem. And we can only win this scenario if he is not on the board. So even though if we are basically done everything else, and maybe I will look at the win conditions in a second too, if he's still around, we cannot win the scenarios. And from what I understand, he really keeps coming back. And here is what we have to do. We have to save 3 children and 2 Ronin. What those are, we come to that when some of the scenario effects will trigger. And we have to recover Masamune the Deathbringer. I have put this aside. we can find Masamune a little bit later on. Then we have to return it to the 4 Heavenly Kings room, which is also tile we put aside. And there are special conditions when this tile will come up. The players, as I said, cannot win if Onibo Muramasa, the Dark Soul, is in the tomb. And yeah, we will lose if the comet track ever reaches 7, which is really not that long. So we might run out of time relatively quickly. So really, this is the one thing where playing this solo could be problematic, because the more heroes you have, the more explorations you can do in other directions of the board. We have definitely a lot of actions, but we might get stuck with a lot of those. So we cannot use our full movement every now and then. So I think really playing this with more heroes might be a little bit easier, but yeah, I have faith in Harrison. So let's see how we are doing. So I think we really have to get rid of this guy relatively quickly. Otherwise, he's really doing a lot of damage to us, and we cannot die. Before we die, our companions will die. The same is true if we have to flee. Whenever we have to flee, we have to get rid of one of our companions, and only then, if we then whatever have to flee, or if we are then dying, we have immediately lost the game apparently. But I think if I'm really running out of companions, I might have other kind of problems anyway. Okie dokie, I think then it's really time to start attacking this guy, right? Yeah, let's go for it. The first thing that will happen is that we have to lose courage equal to the amount of his courage attack here, which is a 4. Apparently, this also means we will lose our +1 to all checks. So we are going here to a 0. 0 is still okay, but also not great. So we might have to do some resting. You don't want to go to the negatives here, because this could be really very, very punishing. So we will have to spend our very first action. This is really so nice, these bullets here. So this says reload, which is we have now spent our very first action. Then we can choose our weapons, and I think we will go with those 2 dexterity weapons. So we will have the bullwhip, and we will use the fast draw revolver. We can use them dual wielded because they're both one-handed and they're sharing the same attribute, which is dexterity. So overall, we are getting 3 more dice just because of this. So this symbol here means we get basically a +2 die for combat check, and here +2. We are not doing any trap checks. And yeah, we might lose this one here, but we might lose it anyway. So I think better use it right now. On top of it, our base value is a 6. Here, yep, that's the case. So we're getting 6 more dice. Unfortunately, we only have 8 dice in total, so I have not the additional dice set. So we are already at 9 dice. And on top of this, we may want to use Earl Hawk here. When you do combat, you may tap him to get +4 dice and succeed on a 4, 5, or 6. I mean, that's pretty amazing. So we will definitely use him, but we can only use him once during the combat. So this is for our combat check. So that's 4 more dice. So overall, we should be at 13 dice already. I think he's not an undead one. No, he's not. At least it doesn't say so. Here we can ignore all critical misses, and we can reroll all ones rolls. So that's also very nice, but we can flip it on demand. And we can, we get an extra die here too. That's an ongoing effect here. Pablo, Green Ghost, Garcia. And we can tap him to automatically evade any creatures. No, we don't want to do that, but we get 1 extra die here too. So I think that's 14 dice in total, if my math serves me right here. And of course, we must not forget the outnumber bonus here, which says when the adventurers outnumber the creatures in a room during combat, at the outnumber bonus gains bonus die equal to the number of exceeding the number of creatures up to 4 bonus dice. So overall we are 6. I think we count as 6 because even the scimitar here might be, but it doesn't really matter. I think it still counts as a companion. So we get the maximum, that's 4 more dice. So we are rolling 18 dice in total. I think that's a pretty solid start. And now I'm regretting not getting those extra dice. 8, and I need to roll 18. Oh wow. And keep in mind, 4s are also successes too. Okay, let's see about that. So that's a critical hit. We need to drag those down. Basically differently. Those are now hits. Those are hits. That's a standard hit. and that's a standard hit. So that's one miss. I have to really use this for a hit, for a miss. This will be a critical hit, so we have to remember that. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 normal hits as well. So I will also mark this down like this. So overall, that's cool. Again, that's a miss, a critical miss. So that was the first 8 dice. Oops, I will re-roll that one. Whatever it does, that's a critical miss, that's a miss, that's a normal hit, that's a normal hit, that's a normal hit, and that's a normal hit. So that's 4 more normal hits. So we are at 9 normal hits and 1 more critical miss. Those were 16. And then we have to roll 2 more dice. That's 2 whiffs. Okay, so in theory, we could now use Siddhar Sandeep Singh here. We could turn him, reroll all ones. So not sure why there is this symbol on there. Reroll all ones rolled. So let's do that. So that's a reroll, and we had 2 of those. So let's simply reroll those 2 dice. Okay, that's another hit. I take that. So that's 10 normal hits in total and 1 critical hit. And we don't roll any critical misses. I mean, that's definitely something. And now we start with our defense. Again, we had a critical hit and we had 10 normal hits. He does 10 points worth of damage. 10 points minus 11 is minus 1. So he's not hurting us. That's at least something. Then we put this critical hit aside here because the critical hit will pass through the armor. He has an armor of 3, which means we are subtracting 3 from the 10 here, which is now 7. So he's taking 7 wounds from the standard one, plus 1 here. So overall, he's taking 8 wounds, which is not enough to kill this guy. See for yourself, that's really, really bad. But at least he's taken 8 wounds. So we need 4 more in order to kill him. And next attack will be much tougher because we no longer have Earl Hawk here. And we have also used Sandeep here. Maybe we shouldn't have rolled that. He's still not uncheck. No, it's what it is. So we are definitely rolling fewer dice. I think that's only a 9. That's only 10 dice now plus the outnumber bonus. So 14 dice. I mean, overall, that's still not terrible. But yeah, definitely we are losing a lot of dice here. And we are losing the success on a 4. I think these alone gave us a lot of action. So let's do a second attack now. And this time we are only, quote unquote, rolling 14 dice. And we are only hitting on 5s and 6s now. So let's go for it. Let's reroll those guys. Okay, I think my dice tower is at its limit. So that's a success. That's a critical hit. I take that. That's another miss. But again, we can still ignore the critical miss. That's at least something. So he's not triggering his demon eye here. The jinxed one, that's another hit. And that's about it. That's 2 hits and 2 critical misses. So I think let's put those here. Again, that doesn't really matter. We can ignore those. Anyway, we had 1 critical hit, which goes through the armor anyway. I think that's good. And we had 2 normal hits, but 2 normal hits are not even enough to make it through the armor. So that's really kind of a bummer. So we get 6 more dice to roll. So yeah, let's hope for the best here. We really need a lot more successes now. Okay, let's reroll that. Okay, that's another success. That's another crit. That's another critical miss. Wow, I'm so happy we're having the other guy. And that's another hit. So that's 2 more hits only. So that's pretty much 4 normal hits and 1 critical hit, which is just not enough to take him out, right? I think this will land at only 2 hits overall. Again, we can ignore this, but we are still taking some wounds now. And maybe we should have used some audacity to reroll some dice. And we could have used audacity to make force count as successes too. Okay, I really should pay attention, but really spending too much audacity soon. I really thought this would have been an easier fight. But yeah, it's what it is. So we had 5 normal successes, 1 critical. Overall, they count for our defense. He's making 10 points worth of damage, so we have to take 5 wounds. But this time I must not forget, I have some base defense here. Yeah, I have basically 7 successes now, so only take 3 wounds. I think that's much better. So I think still I will assign those wounds to my companions. And I think let's start with a Singing Scimitar, because it's okay, but I think we are rolling better than the Scimitar, so that's okay. So this can take 10 damage, and we can in theory also heal those companions. And if we want, we can also discard those. No, I think that's fine. Again, we are not dealing with those dice here, because we can ignore all critical misses. That's really nice. We really have to hold on to Cedar. And then we get to do some wounds. So again, we put the critical hit aside. We take the standard hits. That's 4 minus 3. So that's 1 more wound. You must be kidding me. So we are now at 9, and then we get 1 more wound because of our critical hit here. So he's now at 10 out of 12. It's terrible. So yeah, let's do the same exercise again. We will spend yet another action. So there's 3 actions already just to take this guy out here. That's really bad. So yeah, let's do some cleanup here. Let's take those dice. It's still 14 dice. I think this hasn't changed. Oh, in fact, I may have forgotten this, because this fast draw revolver gives us a +1. So we are getting yet again another die here. Yeah, I think that's really because we are rolling dexterity for this, and he gets us +2. Whatever. I will roll 14 dice now. I think that's still good enough. We are looking for a lot of success. That's another critical. That's another good hit. That's another miss, and that's everything. So critical and 1 standard hit. You must be kidding me. So 1 here and 1 here. Wow, we need still 2 more. So either 1 more crit, which would be fine, but we are also taking a lot of wounds if we are not paying attention. But yeah, let's roll it again. I can still spend some audacity if I don't feel comfortable. But then it's all dice I have to reroll. But let's see how we are doing. That's another critical hit. Oof, 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 oof. So that's 2 now. 2 and 1. So that's definitely enough to take him out. But we are taking a hell of a lot of wounds ourselves. It's 5 wounds if I'm not miscounting here. So we have 3 successes plus 2 defense. Oh wow, that's a toughie. But I think he's out. I think I'm fine. Let's hold on to the audacity. I think we should be good. So again, that's 5 wounds we are taking, and I guess we stick to the scimitar here. Yep, that's fine. And then we already know the drill. We are now basically subtracting this. Doesn't do anything because his defense is higher, but we have 2 critical hits, and that's 12. He has 12 health, so he's no more, at least for now. Again, he will come back. Good thing is he will leave us with some soul shards, which we can later use here with the soulmonger, but I think with 6 there's really not a lot to do, but we take those anyway. Nice start. Not really sure if that's so interesting to start this game with a relatively big fight, but that's what it is. But this allows us to get rid of Onibo Muramasa for now, so we'll put him back. He will come back, definitely will he come back, because as soon as we are uncovering some of those rooms, he will come back. But yeah, for now he's gone, so we can actually start doing stuff. But I think the next boring thing that we want to do is to rest. And we want to do that in order to regain some of our courage here. Not really after these bonuses here, but I also don't want to lose, because anytime you are fighting a creature for the first time, you're taking the courage hit, and then this could really pile up relatively quickly. So I think for now, that's fine. So we are in the pluses, so even if we are losing something with the next fight, we are still good enough. At least I think maybe we should do it a second time, but we can still decide to do that a little bit later. I think for now it's really time starting to explore. So we will spend our 5th action already to move, and I think there's no reason not to move in here to the basically where you see these are little door symbols here, these little meteors, this little meteor. So we can move up to 6, but again we will move in here. This will end our movement, so we will pretty much explore. And here we have found the Chamber of Ages, and I think that's a good thing, because as our exploration bonus we get a +1 to any attribute, which is nice. So I think in this case we definitely want to up our strength, so we get a little +1 here. And because we have done that here, when you receive an attribute bonus token, which we just did, discard 1 special ability token and you may add an additional bonus to any other attribute. So let's definitely spend one of those. And I think it's now either knowledge or mythos, but I think let's go with the knowledge for now. So we are rolling 6 dice here and 5 dice here. I think overall that was great. And on top of this, we have also found our very first scenario trigger effect here. So let's see what this is, right? First things first, when there are already 3 child markers at the tomb's entrance, then we do not trigger it, but that's pretty much one of our winning conditions. We need to save 3 children. As you step into the room, your surroundings disappear. You can't see anything but yellow-orange grass that seems to dance in the night. For a moment, you take a deep breath and enjoy the stillness of night, but then the pungent odor of burning wood fills the air. You turn to find a home on fire, and there are screams. A child screams. Do you break down the door, strength, or sneak through an open window, which is a dexterity test? We both need 2 successes for those. That's now an interesting choice. I'm pretty sure we will go with dexterity because we are still rolling 1 more die here, but we need 2 successes. And because time is of the essence, I think this time we will spend an audacity. This is really crap here. We will spend an audacity because this gives us a success on a 4, 5, and 6 in this case. But I think overall this is not a story check here. I think not. We have a defense. On the other hand, I just noticed we have Roger de Martin with us here. He gives us +2 on strength checks and +1 on, what are those checks here? I have no clue actually. It's a strength check. A movement. That's a movement check, of course. Sorry. So yeah, I think then we would roll 7 dice instead of 6. So yeah, we get this right off the bat. So no, in this case, we will roll a strength check with 7 dice. And keep in mind, we have spent the audacity here. So 4s, 5s, and 6s do count. But on the other hand, we still get a +1 here from our fast draw revolver, right? +1 to things. Yeah, it's the same thing. So we are rolling 7 dice and 4, 5, and 6s do count. Yeah. Let's check it out. We need 2 successes here. Awesome. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. In this case, we really do not care about any critical misses. That's only important for the combat. But overall, this was a success. Amazing. Your bravery has been rewarded. You saved a child. Now standing in the tomb, you realize there is more to this journey than the mind can comprehend. And you beat at your body to extinguish the invisible flames, taking minor burns. Wow, we are taking 4 points worth of damage. But we also can place a child marker on the tomb's entrance. Nice. Okay, those silver tokens are the children, and those will be the Ronin later on, but we have not found those Ronin. I think they will come out in level 2 of our tomb here, but overall that was definitely a great success. We still have to assign 4 wounds though, and as I'm not quite ready to lose our very first companion here because of the outnumber bonus, I think we should assign it to someone else. So we give it to Pablo. He's still okay, he gives us a +1 for attack. But yeah, sooner or later we may want to start healing those guys too. But for now, that was definitely great progress. We still have a lot of actions. So we may want to continue to serve because we need more children. So yeah, let's spend another action to continue to move. Or should we first heal? And I think I might want to do that. And one thing that I just noticed, actually, we are not allowed to heal beyond our courage beyond 0. So we cannot go to 10, of course, right now. This makes sense because otherwise we would use those actions like crazy, get those special abilities, and yeah, that's pretty much not how this one works. I think I only rested once, right, to go to a +2. So I will not use the original thing now. I will use this rest action now for those basically healing Pablo Green of 2 wounds. I think let's do the same thing again with our next action. So let's heal him twice. That's fine. Okay, nice. Then let's continue to move, right? That was the idea. Let's explore into this room. So we do have another entrance out here. Again, we have to check for a suitable room. So that's a level 1, level 2, and level 3. So that's similar to Betrayal at House on Hill, or at the House on the Hill. But in this case, that's fine. So we can place it either way. Let's do it like this. That's fine. And here we have found the Fountain of Youth. When you rest in this, oh, come on, you must be kidding me. We gain double the amount of points. And we have still found yet another story event, which means another child to be rescued. Here again, I'm not going to read that thing again. We will roll 7 dice again. Question is if I want to use an Audacity or not. I think not. So let's simply roll those 7 dice. We could use the Audacity later on to re-roll all of those. So again, we can rescue a child, and we have to do that really speedily, really moving. The comet track will move like crazy. And 1 and 2 successes, that's enough. Perfect. Again, we will take 4 wounds, so now I'm really happy I healed twice, but that's okay. So he's not going to die. We have found yet again another child, so we will place it on the tomb's entrance down there. Again, we have to assign 4 wounds, and I think we will heal him right away, so we are not placing this, so we will spend 1 more action. And again, this is now doubled because of the Fountain of Youth, which means, yeah, we are doing pretty good actually. That's definitely great progress here. I'm now considering to rest again before we move out in order to take some wounds away from the, what is it, the Singing Scimitar. Think, yeah, let's do that. So let's rest once more, and this allows us to heal this guy here twice pretty much. I think that's okay, so we can definitely take some more wounds then later. Okay, that's nice. And then we also may want to consider searching, because the way how searching in this game works is this little triangle here. We start with the green side up, which gives us the best results, but usually doing the tomb phase, this thing basically turns, which means it will get more difficult finding useful stuff. So I think better use it now instead of later, because if I will use it now and it flips twice, it goes back to green. So overall, I think that's definitely the best bet. So yes, we will spend our 10th action already. Wow, that's insane, to do a search. And the way how this works is we will roll against this chart here. Right now we are still in the green, so the most of 4, 5, and 6s are basically items. 2 and 3 are story cards. Good story card. Only a roll of a 1 gives us a misfortune or misadventure card. That's the proper turn. So I think, yeah, let's simply roll that die here. That's a 4. A 4 is a treasure. I take that. Absolutely cool. So let's see what we get. And wow, in this case, we have found the Tommy gun. It's a 2-handed weapon now. It also gives us a plus, no, this is a +4, in fact, and it has area combat, so I can attack all of the creatures at the same time, which could also help us. And we also succeed on a 4, 5, or 6. That's a nice one. So, but now we have 2 weapons. I think that's the critical piece, because we have to keep rolling in the upkeep, so we might lose those items sooner or later. I think that was definitely a great find. Then we have to rotate this to yellow, so the next result might be definitely something completely different. So we can spawn some monsters, or we can basically get some adventures, but only on a 6 we get an item here, for example. So here we have a misfortune. So really overall, this has become much more critical, and most likely it will spin during this upkeep phase, so it will be even getting very worse. But then we could also gain one artifact, if we're rolling good enough, that is. Let's spend another action to move, and I think we will move down here. So yeah, let's see what we get, and I think we have to place it like this because we need a way out, and that's the Well of Souls. Are you kidding me? That's really, yeah, absolutely. Oh wow, that's definitely something. So there's no trap or whatnot here in this room, but we have story effect number 3, and I was nearly certain that those 3s would only come up on the lower levels actually. But wow, that's definitely something. So that was definitely, wow, great progress. Hearing whimpering, you cautiously enter the room with weapons drawn. You find a man clutching a sword, and not just any sword, it's the Deathbringer. He's the remaining member of the rogue expedition party, out of his mind and seeking only to survive. Trying to evade his fate, the man throws the weapon at you and runs out of the room. Filled with anxiety, you wrap your fingers around the hilt and lift the blade. Breathlessly you utter, "I've got a bad feeling about this." And you are right. Moments later, as if summoned by the sword, you fill with rage as Onmyodo enters the room. You have found the sword. Gain Masamune the Deathbringer. That's this here. It gives us a +5, but this is a strength attack now. After all combat damage is dealt, you gain +1 for every 2 damage you deal with this weapon. So maybe using this might not be the worst thing in the world. And then we also place the 4 Heavenly Kings room on level 3, connecting it to Mongol's Hall. And I believe that's not really that big of a deal. Yeah, that's what it is. I believe those things no longer trigger with those set aside rooms, if I recall that correctly. I believe I saw a thread on the Geek. So when I stumble in here, it does not trigger this one here. Have to check that, but I think that's how it goes. And in order to go to level 3, we have to find a robe actually. Good thing is we have the Bullwhip, which we can discard. Place robe token when able. Of course, we have to find the room in order to go there, and yeah, it's basically one of the rooms in level 2, so we have to go there anyway relatively quickly now. We still have to find 2 more of those Ronin and 1 more child. So, and apparently we have to deal with Onmyodo Muramasa again, so he will spawn at the tomb's entrance again, yeah, looking for his sword, and he will start moving towards us relatively quickly. He will move with a speed of 4, so 1, 2, 3, he will get to us unless we are willing to continue to explore. And maybe that's what we should do actually, because I only have 2 more actions now, and with 1 I could move to him, but then I only have 1 more action to fight him, and then he's right at us and he will attack us too. So I think let's not do that, right? So we will spend our, I think that's the 12th action already, to continue to explore this way. This could be a dead end at some point in time. I have to find the proper room, and here we have a level 1, level 2, and ooh, that's a bad one. Okay, that's a dart trap, so we are moved right into a dart trap. I think we get a bonus because of it's either the fedora or the leather jacket, but there are 5 trap tokens here, which means this trap will fire 5 times in total. First time right now because we have entered the room, and we have to do a dexterity check, and if we fail we lose 2 health and get the poisoned condition. Good thing is we have a dexterity of 7 because of our fast draw revolver, and it was the bullwhip as well who gives us a +2 on trap check. So that's a 8 dice in total we are rolling. Okay, we need only 1 success, so this should be doable. Again, famous last words. And I think all of those were kind of cocked here, but I think really those do count as successes here. That's a 5, that's a 5. So we have not taken any wounds. And I think then we have to take another action moving out here. Yeah, let's do that. So let's see what we get. And that's, oh, Lords of the Day. I think that's a bad one. Yeah, that's a misadventure. So we have to draw one of those cards here. And there is a nice deck here. So basically a deck card so that we don't see what's underneath it. The problem is we will not go with the adventure side. We will go with the misadventure side. You find a stone circle with red, yellow, blue and green gems arranged in a circular pattern. As you approach and investigate, they light up and you hear a tone from an unknown source. Okay, we need to do a knowledge check and we need 2 successes. Good that we upped our knowledge, so we are rolling 6 dice, and this works similar to Eldritch Horror. So there is then a middle effect where we pass and we is low if we are failing. So let's roll those 6 dice, and 1 and 2. Yeah, those are 2 successes. Wow, awfully close, but I take it. So what did we get? You quickly deduce that this is an ancient memory game. The lights and tones continue in strange patterns, adding more lights and tones. Though it gets very complex, you keep your concentration and complete the game. You feel pretty smart. +1 knowledge. Awesome. That was actually pretty good. And again, we could now consider spending this one here, the last one, in order to up one of our other things. And still, I think, let's go for strength. So there we are now at a +2 here too. And I'm doing this because we have found the weapon here, which gives us, or which is asking for a strength check. And I think overall that's a good decision. Nice card. And it seems here I made a stupid mistake because I not moving fast enough. He will get us. And we are not getting the outnumber bonus. That was stupid. So wow, what should we do? Yeah, let's simply continue to move, right? Yeah, we have our final action. So let's do that. And okay, that's the Armory. Okay, Armory sounds like a good deal, but it's a dead end anyway. Okay, let's move in here. And it says search the thing deck and take the first strength weapon. Okay, let's do that. Awesome. The first strength weapon. That's not a strength weapon, not a strength weapon. That's a strength weapon +3. Yeah, we will keep it for sure. Not really great, but at least it's better than nothing. Awesome. We can, because we can lose those things. That's something. And we have to deal with a this case an adventure card, not the misadventure side. You really see it all in this very first episode. Very nice. You found an inscribed wooden chalice sitting on a small pyramid. It is overflowing with a thick purple liquid. Oh, we need to do a Mythos check. And this is the one thing that I haven't upped yet. So I'm only rolling 5 dice. And I have really no clue what's on the bottom of that card. I haven't checked. So I'm not sure if I should spend my audacity to re-roll or make... But okay, I forgot again. So many cards. This is a story check. This is clearly a story check. At least I think, right? That's a story check. Apparently it is a story effect, so I'm rolling 1 extra die. You lost today, that doesn't mean you gotta like it. Haha, where did I hear this? Okay, so we're rolling 6 dice then for, because of the fedora. Really must not forget all those bonus I get. But yeah, apparently we still need to roll 2 successes here, and 1 and 2. Awesome. Amazing, another job well done. And this one says you read a warning just on the inside of the doorway telling of an ancient tribe of blood drinkers that dwelt here. Drink not from the overflowing cup, it says. You heed the warning, but you know better. You approach and drink from the cup, immediately feeling empowered. Wow, +4 audacity. So we are moving to 9. I think 10 is the maximum we can have. Wow, that was 2 amazing adventure and misadventure cards. Cool. But I believe those were all of our actions. I really hope I have kept track of it properly. And then we are dealing with our very first, I think, tomb card, right? Yeah, that's a tomb card. And what I did is, usually the rule says you play with green or red or mix them both together. I have taken 3 red cards and shuffled those into this deck. So majority of those are green, but some of those might turn up to be red. That's apparently a green one running out of ammo. Wow. All -1 to, yeah, basically combat checks this tomb phase. Okay, that's not really the worst thing in the world. Next, we will move some creatures. And again, I did not do the math right. He will move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Apparently, he will move closer towards us. So he will now attack us. And we are really not rolling a hell of a lot of dice, actually. So I'm really considering to evade him, which we can do now. We have a relatively high dexterity, so maybe, yeah, we can use Pablo, Green Ghost Garcia. Flip him, automatically evade any creatures, all creatures in one room. I think let's do that, because he will come back anyway. So I think, yeah, let's simply automatically evade from him. I think this guy is really, really powerful. Yeah, but because we get him back right away. Not sure if this, no, I think really seems powerful, but in the end, yeah, it says evade, automatically evade. Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, if I would have used him earlier to move through another room, that I wouldn't be able to use him right now. So no, I think we are okay. That has taken care of this one. Really don't see a reason why I should do that. And then we would spawn creatures, so we will place 1 additional creature to level 1, at least in a red room, and we get to choose where to place it. So we have 2 red rooms here, so I think let's place it here, and that's the Stone Spirit of Olmec, a golem. Search for an Olmec enchanter spawned in the tomb, then shuffle the deck. Oh, that's bad. He's definitely easy to defeat, and because we can ignore the critical misses, I think we are doing okay. So I think overall we were really extremely lucky in what characters we drew for him. But that's pretty much it. We cannot spawn anyone to level 2 or level 3 because there's simply no red rooms. Then we will do our upkeep. So let's do those die roll here first. There is no upkeep. Here's an upkeep. So we have to roll for that revolver. On a 1, 2, or 3 we discard it. That's bad. That's really bad. Okay, that's a 4. Okay, I take that. Cool stuff. Then we do the same for the Tommy gun. On a 1 or 2 we have to discard. Oh, this goes away relatively quickly, man. And that's a 5. We are good 2. No, we don't here. And I think the rest is simply refresh those guys here. Okay, wow. Awesome round. I think then we have to take care of the search token here. So it goes from a yellow to a red. Oof, really punishing. And the comet thread will move 1 space ahead. So we are now at a 1 here. So we have, in theory, 6 more turns. And I really can't remember if there are effects in here which says +2, or maybe there are even minuses in there. I cannot recall, but I think there are 2s in there too, maybe even 0s. I'm relatively sure, maybe even minuses, I don't know. But yeah, for now we have progressed it, and yeah, again, whenever this reaches 7 and we have not won the game by then, we have lost the game. How nice is that? And I think that's pretty much the end for my playthrough for today. It was a lot of reading, a lot of talking, a lot of explanation. Overall, the game is relatively easy, but there are so many things, so many pluses, minuses, exceptions that I most likely will forget stuff. So apologies in advance here, and also apologies for all the mistakes. Make me aware of all the goofs, and I will try to repair them as much as I can at the start of my next video. Apart from that, I really hope you are enjoying my little playthrough of Secrets of the Lost Tomb. It's really, really a fun game. A lot of dice rolling, apparently, but also a lot of great narrative in this one. So I really like this game a lot, actually. And yeah, hope to see you soon in one of my other videos. And until then, bye-bye.